When it comes to home decor, I'm very much like, I change my mind a lot, right? So sometimes I want everything dark and moody. And then sometimes I'm like, I want a house to look like I've just walked into like a 90s version of what space looks like kind of home. You know what I mean? So I think in an ideal world, I'll have a mix of both. Like one room being really dark and gothic, like my office, you know, because concentration. And in the kitchen to be like sterile. Anyway, this creator, Amina, is literally famous for her home, right? You just know she's not one of those people that have painted like a door handle with white gloss and just thought, fuck it, it's white now. I know she has those cute custom handles you buy from like Etsy. Whether or not it's your personal taste, it's a cool vibe, right? Forever hating all the grey everywhere look, you know, like the mirror furniture, the grey felt, no, what's it called? Velour, whatever it is. Anyway, so she was famous for her place. She named it Cloudland, and the internet absolutely loved it. But since people loved it, of course, a big brand showed up to ruin everything.
I wish I never heard of Lisa Frank, and I wish Lisa Frank never heard of me. So,
oh, is she going to explain who Lisa Frank is? So Lisa Frank, do we explain? Lisa Frank is probably, I mean, Lisa Frank was around when I was a child. So we're talking like early 90s and has been around there forever. She's probably been around even longer. But it was always like, I personally, it's not my vibe. It's not my vibe. It's like tigers and rainbows and shit like that. Listen, if something is going to go wrong that involves Lisa Frank, this is not the first time Lisa Frank has tried to do a collaboration and everything goes wrong.
If you don't know, there's a docuseries out about Lisa Frank.
Oh.
And I am in that docuseries. It's on Amazon Prime. And I'm on episode 4. I am talking about my experience with the brand and just with Lisa Frank. So I guess let's start with why I'm in that docuseries to begin with. So in 2017, I decided to redecorate and completely transform my small 750 square feet studio apartment. I named it Cloudland. I poured my heart and soul into it, and I turned it into me and my wife's favorite.
Okay, very Lisa Frank. The vibrant colours that you may think might clash, but somehow they go together with different textures in between. Very Lisa Frank. So I can see why Lisa Frank would have been like, I can fuck this up.
Place. I did a lot of fun DIYs, and making Cloudland and then sharing the entire process completely changed the trajectory of my career. It started going viral and lots of people wrote about it. I was featured in magazines. It was actually made it to the cover of a few magazines. My platform grew. I began to get all of these amazing sponsorships and brand deals and opportunities to work with brands that before that weren't really giving me the time of day. It was amazing. So that happened in 2017. In 2018,
just to interrupt, how great to see somebody doing something they really, really fucking love and making a career out of it. This, like, again, even if it's your not personal taste, my personal taste, as I said, is dark, gothic, headless horseman in the corner. You know, but I also love this. And I like cutesy things too. I'm surrounded by Sanrio in this room. So I love it. I love to see that they're doing something incredible, something that they really, really love. This is nice.
Lisa Frank started following me on Instagram.
Oh, it says, if you want to know what happened next, I'm dropping part 2 tomorrow. Oh, we got it. We got it. Okay. So Amina put a ton of effort into her place. Obviously, evidently, hand painting stuff, recorded it, shared it online, and became super popular. So again, if you don't know who Lisa Frank is, think if Claire's had like a disturbed crackhead older cousin, that's her. But it does make sense as to why Lisa Frank might reach out to someone like this. It's almost like organized, colorful chaos. And I don't mean chaos as a mess. I mean, it looks great. It's organized, colorful chaos. They're both very rainbow, very bright, very feel-good vibes, right? So nothing suspicious up to now. Everything's going swimmingly well. to be quite Lisa Frank. Okay.
Lisa
terrible.
Frank started following me on Instagram, would interact with me on a regular basis. They would always say nice things. I just thought, hey, cool. Lisa Frank is a fan. I love this. Fast forward to 2019. I go to pay my rent, and my manager of the apartment building where I made Cloudland was like, we can't accept your rent, and this is coming from the top. And I believe he meant it's coming from the owners of the building.
Oh.
And no one would give me any answers. They just wouldn't accept my rent. It basically said I had to move out by October. It made no
shit.
sense, but hey, I was like, okay, I mean, I don't own this place. I don't know. It was terrifying and confusing and stressful because like I was kind of building my whole career around Cloudland. Well, while I am panicking and selling things, like I sold all of my clothes, while I'm panicking and trying to figure out what I'm going to do next, I find out that Lisa Frank has partnered with Hotels.com, and they are doing a pop-up hotel kind of thing in the adjacent apartment building from mine.
Cloudland.
It was basically like across the street. And this apartment building is owned and managed by the same people who own and manage my apartment building.
What? Okay. Amina one day, after becoming super successful, gets a notice from her landlord saying that she was being evicted. That must have been really stressful. God, imagine spending all that time on DIY, decorating the space and using it to kickstart your career, only to be kicked out for literally no reason. And listen, you may be thinking, you can't just do that to a rented space. You can do what you like to a rented space within the contract. You can use vinyl on the cupboards in the kitchen like she did. As long as you paint the walls back to normal, you can absolutely do what you want, as long as it is in the right condition when it comes to re-renting it out again or showing people around the apartment, right? Again, that would be within your contract. And actually a lot of what she's done in that place is hung up paintings, the furniture, painted a wall a different colour, which can easily be painted over white, grey, whatever. Maybe not easy, it might be a couple of coats, but I'm sure they would have done it. Why would she be kicked out of this place? Could it possibly be because it's similar, her house, Cloudland, is similar to the Lisa Frank pop-up and they have been paid off to evict Amina? Listen, I wouldn't put it past Lisa Frank. As I said, there's been some dodgy dealings with her in the beauty world as well.
It was basically like across the street. And this apartment building is owned and managed by the same people who own and manage my apartment building. And the dates, like I said, the date that I had to be out mysteriously coincided with the date that the pop-up was going to be. And the Lisa Frank Hotel suite was so eerily similar to Cloudland that people actually thought that I designed it. Yeah. And, there were a lot of details that were extremely similar. And the kitchen, in my opinion, was identical
to my kitchen. Wait 1 fucking second. Can we close up on this? That is I cannot believe how similar that is. That's crazy. That is insane. Definitely 100% stolen. Hi, my baby girl. Hello, baby girl. Yes.
Kitchen, and it was just all very surreal and strange. I had no idea why I had to leave. I had no idea what was going on. I was only left to draw the conclusion that for some reason I had to leave because of the Lisa Frank hotel pop-up. Eventually, I had to leave Cloudland in 2019, just a couple of months after the hotel pop-up opened to the public.
Painting like that. It's strange why they would kick her out. In my mind, I'm thinking, so what? She lives across the road in an apartment that you copied for your pop-up. Also, it's a pop-up, which means it's not permanent. Also, why didn't you just work with her? It's a Lisa Frank pop-up designed by this person. There's a clothing designer. Well, there's an artist, and I believe she designed clothes, called Color Me Courtney. And Disney always collaborate with her to make amazing things because her style is very much sought after. Disney didn't copy her. They said, well, let's work together and have your range within the Disney. You can be a huge company and work with content creators who have great design aesthetics. great ideas. Why couldn't this have been a collaboration? But I know you would have had to pay the collaboratee, but do you not have a shitload of money? Let's see what happens next.
If that pop-up happened and I never lost my home, it wouldn't have been such a devastating blow to me, my mental health, or my career. To have my whole career have the way that most people know about me to be my apartment, and then for it to just disappear, and for me to have to start over from scratch in that state, and to scramble to move, it was just such a blow. Everything was kind of taken away from me. I went from having so much opportunity and feeling like the sky is the limit to just like nothing. What felt like nothing. I sold my clothes. I sold furniture. I had to do a lot in order to be able to like start over. And it was really hard. I was extremely depressed. I didn't go outside for months. Like, I didn't even leave my apartment for months. People were asking me, like, why don't you just make Cloudland in your new place? You did it once, you could do it again. I just couldn't. I tried a few times, but I didn't have it in me. It was really hard for me to like find my footing again as an artist, as a person,
This is awful because it's again her career being taken away from her. It's also the stress of being given a deadline to move out and then you have to cover everything up. And also again, even if you're like, yeah, create it somewhere else, it's not going to be the same. All of this impacts on her mental health as well, all because Lisa Frank must have thought she was some kind of threat to her because she had a similar vibe. Like, sorry, it's not Amina's fault that she has fun taste and probably could draw a dolphin without giving it a sad, weird human eyes.
Cloudland had literally nothing to do with Lisa Frank. Like, nothing.
Yeah.
I wasn't inspired by Lisa Frank when I was making Cloudland. Let me just clear that up. I was a fan of Lisa Frank as a child. I was born in the 80s and grew up in the 90s.
Right.
And the aughts, in the 2000s. And like, as a little kid, I was a fan of Lisa Frank. And I had the stickers and I had all that stuff. But Cloudland had nothing to do with that. It was my own ideas, my own love for the colors I had been working with the whole time. If you look back in my career, with tassels and the content that I had shared prior and how I dressed and my hair, Cloudland was just an expression of all of that. Now, I have no problem with talking about things that inspire me. But when I made Cloudland, Lisa Frank wasn't really a reference. You know who was a reference? Care Bears was a reference. Sanrio, Hello Kitty, My Little Pony was a reference. And then I had recently really gotten into Tokidoki. That was a reference. I was like collecting unicornos and stuff,
Can I just say as well, also, as a business, if you think someone is copying you, you don't kick them out of their apartment. You send a cease and desist. You do it legally, the normal people way.
Those were the things I was into at the time. And also spring, which is like my favorite time of year. Those were the core influences. I actually hadn't thought about Lisa Frank until she started following me on social media.
No one thinks about Lisa Frank. No one thinks about Lisa Frank.
Yeah. In 2020, right after I lost Cloudland and during the rise of the Black Lives Matter movement, Lisa Frank took to Instagram to opportunistically post a black square in faux solidarity.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, during the height of the Black Lives Matters movement, people were posting black squares on their Instagram feeds in solidarity, like she just said. It was called Blackout Tuesday. And Lisa Frank posted this as a very like, we're doing it too. So Amina here posts underneath, Did my Black Life matter when you ripped off Cloudland Home and then conspired with two other corporations to bully, gaslight, and spread lies about me and then have me thrown out my apartment? Let's not talk about the fact that having to start over has completely diminished my ability to make a living. You completely leveled me, and now you want to pretend you care about Black lives? Bye, Lisa. Very right.
And it was more than I could handle. I
Yeah,
lost
right.
it. And I started calling them out directly.
Okay, sorry to keep interrupting. So she's sharing a post here. Remember when Lisa Frank totally ripped me off and stole my apartment design? That was a source of my income for a hotel in my very same building, and then conspired with the two other corporations involved to silence me and have me thrown out on the street. Now they're on IG lying.
On Instagram. They then replied with a vile post accusing me of doing the very thing that they themselves were doing.
Okay, 1 second. Lisa Frank says, to our fans, as all of you are, we are heartbroken over recent events and a level of racial injustice in this country. Out of respect for the importance of yesterday, we chose not to respond to an issue that arose on our page. While all of the country was spending time reflecting, learning, listening, and taking action during Blackout Tuesday, we were disappointed to hear of an opportunistic individual, 1 second, taking that moment to focus attention on herself for her own personal benefit by repeating her false accusations that we have stolen artwork and designs from her over the past months. We have silently forgiven her need to deflect blame away from her own failures. Excuse me? By perpetuating this false narrative. However, we owe it to our fans to speak out this one time to address the lies. During the fall of 2019, we participated in a 2-week hotel room pop-up. We did not design the hotel room or choose its location, but simply provided our artwork. Art that is completely original and dates back as far as the early 1980s. Additionally, the Lisa Frank pop-up was an entirely different building than where the eviction incident... What building? Then where... Oh, sorry. The eviction incident is alleged to have taken place. We had absolutely nothing to do with why her landlord evicted her from her apartment.
Their tone-deaf response completely backfired, and they denied everything. That was pretty much the extent of our communication. At the same time all of this was happening, I was dealing with a similar issue from an entirely different huge brand, MGA, the maker of Bratz dolls and LOL Surprise dolls. I hired a lawyer to protect myself, and I was really not okay at the time and extremely vulnerable to scams. That whole story is just as wild as this one, and I'll share it another time. But what I will say is that I paid a lawyer a lot of money to tell me that there was absolutely nothing I could do about the Lisa Frank situation.
No.
At that point, I decided that the best way for me to fight back was to keep moving forward.
Yeah. Lisa Frank, you literal asshole. You're the pinch of an asshole, Lisa Frank. Listen, you cannot own colours, right? You cannot own a rainbow next to an animal, a dolphin, bright colours. You can't own a bright colour scheme. So for Lisa Frank to in that post, it was kind of like, our designs date back to the 80s. Okay, so does colour. Dates back further. So you decided to put, a dolphin next to a rainbow next to a glittery heart, okay? The nerve of Lisa Frank to post for Black Lives Matter after literally making a black artist and creator homeless and stealing all of her opportunities from her is absolutely insane. And then be like, yesterday this creator, who just happens to be black also, tried to make the day all about themselves. Lisa Frank and her team, this is you. That's you. That's an asshole pinch. That's you.
I came through something really hard that I didn't think I was going to survive. And I want to share my journey with you as I rebuild my life and my career and myself and my confidence. Yeah. And maybe if you've been through something, we can do it together. Because, yeah. I think that would be really magical. So I've moved into a new space, and I'm finally ready to create another rainbow dream world for me and my wife Lavender to call home. And I'm really excited to work on the first mural in my new space. So if you want to follow along or even support what I'm doing, be sure to follow me here and join me in Tassel Fairyland on Patreon. I have so many fun things planned for Tassel Fairyland. I was able to write a children's book with Scholastic. It's called A Rainbow in Your Cloud, and it's a book about like self-acceptance, about finding joy in who you are and all the little things that make you who you are. And it's a dream come true. So you can find my book on my website, A Rainbow in Your Cloud, or like really anywhere that books are sold. So prepare yourself. You're going to get sick of me. I'm going to be around. I've also just really been like exploring my own art and aesthetic. I'm looking forward to sharing all of that with you. I've been so like afraid to share my art. And now I feel like I'm just like opening up again and I want to share everything. And I'm really excited about it. And I just think the future is looking bright and I feel like myself again. Thank you to everybody who has supported me, who bought stuff from my store, for watching my videos, for sticking around. There are still so many of you who are just so supportive and so kind and loyal and like, my ride or dies. I love y'all. I appreciate you so much. Everybody who was like here with me in the yarn braid tutorial times, if you stuck it out to the end, you're the best. Thank you so much. I love you. Have a magical day.
But listen, it must be really difficult being not even a small content creator, because she's done incredible things, but to be someone who maybe isn't as big as Lisa Frank, as these LOL surprise dolls, whatever they were, and just have people take advantage of you and all this kind of stuff. It's good to see her bouncing back. And I think as well, I think we've all been, or you will be, in a place at some point in your life where you have a problem and you feel like there's just no way out, nowhere to go, and no way to get to where you thought you were going to be. Although it might not be because of an evil corporation, it takes a lot to pick yourself up like that. And you can just tell how bright of a person she is, even without rainbow everything. You know what I mean? She really does seem like a really genuinely good person. I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna see if there's any merch that comes in black, because I can't be wearing the bright colors. Get that Etsy open. I want stickers for my laptop. I want stickers for my phone cases. Lisa Frank, in my opinion, even before watching this, is a dodgy, vile brand. The way they do business is dodgy. I'm just going to say that. Allegedly, in my opinion. Please don't take my home away from me, Lisa Frank. What do you think of this situation? Do you think the hotel artist collaboration was a direct copy of Cloudland? Do you think? I think it was. I think she got the idea, or they got the idea, someone got the idea and was like, and you know what as well, if I was Lisa Frank and I just provided the artwork and I saw that similarity, I'll be like, my God, that does look very similar. Please know that it was not us copying you. We were asked to provide artwork and that was it. We didn't have anything in design. I'm so sorry about this. Here's some of our vile stickers. I don't know. I don't even know how you would fix that. Anyway, thank you so much again for joining me. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.